On Fox.
This about to get nasty, y'all.
Fox Wednesday, it's the most punishing, back-breaking, grueling episode of the season.
Break!
Oh, God. I don't think he's okay.
Special Forces World's Toughest Test, all new Wednesday on Fox.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Finding the right vehicle for you and your family can be a daunting task. At Varney Buick GMC, our expert staff is here to make the journey as painless as possible. Our goal is to get you and your family in a vehicle that will best fit into your lifestyle. Communication is key, and our team makes sure to be completely transparent throughout the process, informing you on all of your options. Come experience Varney value, only at Varney Buick GMC.
Winter is a time to get outside and enjoy all that Maine has to offer. And when it's time to come inside, rest assured everything's toasty because of your Fujitsu heat pump from Valley Home Services. The comfort and warmth of home means more on days like these. Push a button and you'll be snuggling up on the couch in no time. Valley Home Services offers reliable rebates, significant energy savings, and expert installation. Embrace the comfort of Fujitsu heat pumps from Valley Home Services. Call or click today.
Orno Arcade has expanded, and we have dozens of new games to play. We have prize machines, including an entire section dedicated to your favorite modern games. We have games from the 80s and games from the 90s. Plus, we have the largest selection of indie arcade games in the country, along with 9-hole blacklight mini golf. We also have a brand new birthday party room. Hey, we have it all. Come on up to Orno and experience one of the most unique family entertainment centers in Maine.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Devin Dagnall. The Trump administration's threats over mass deportations are leaving many immigrants worried, especially those with school-aged children. Allison LaPierre has the story.
The uncertainty surrounding immigration enforcement has left some in the community concerned with what's to come.
I don't feel safe. My community can't feel any safe.
One of the many executive actions already signed by President Trump allows officers enforcing immigration laws to make arrests at sensitive locations.
Schools, churches, schools, especially where that place where, kids could go and just be kids.
But now Mufalo Chittum, executive director of the Maine Immigrants' Rights Coalition, says many parents and students are feeling worried about going to school.
Now the parents feel helpless and hopeless.
The order reverses long-standing guidance that has restricted ICE and Custom and Border Protection from carrying out immigration enforcement in these sensitive locations. As a result, multiple superintendents from Maine school districts sent letters out this week to the community. Brunswick School Department Superintendent Philip Potenziano says the district remains committed to the academic success of all students regardless of their immigration status or home language. The letter also answers questions about what would happen if ICE were to show up to the school and what documentation they would need to show.
Right now, there is no, very clear direction in terms of, but the schools are just trying to make decisions to say, we will protect our kids.
Lewiston Superintendent Jake Langlis says the school will follow protocols including protecting students' information established by privacy rights.
That was Allison LaPierre reporting. Earlier this week, a Maine Maritime Academy student was arrested in connection with a string of convenience store robberies. Today, he appeared in court for the first time. Our Alex Schley was in the courtroom and has more.
Scott Dorn appeared in court Friday for his alleged connection to a string of convenience store robberies. According to police, Dorn's first alleged robbery was on January 13th at the Irving gas station on Broadway.
Male individual walked in with a significant right side limp, wearing a ski mask, a jacket, gloves,
The male placed a trash bag on the counter, demanded that Mr. Manzo give him all his money. Mr. Manzo asked if the male was serious, and he responded, "I'm dead serious."
According to prosecutors, less than a week later, the Maine Maritime student found himself holding up the Big Apple on State Street. Later that evening, he also went back to the Irving on Broadway. Police say Dorn's fourth and final robbery was at the Circle K on Broadway. Shortly thereafter, Dorn was arrested. Officer Samantha Ellis of the Bangor Police Department says she spotted a Chevy Cruze on Griffin Road, matching the description of the one involved in the robberies.
Mr. Dorn was taken into custody, transported to Bangor PD. He waived Miranda and agreed to answer questions. In short, he admitted the course of conduct, saying he suffered from a gambling addiction, blew his money at Hollywood slots.
According to the prosecutor, Dorn claims he took several measures to avoid detection, such as faking a limp and using different knives. The 23-year-old is being held on a $25,000 bail. In Bangor, I'm Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A single father and his 3 children are displaced after their home was destroyed in a fire today. According to the Goldsboro Fire Chief, a passerby called in to report a structure fire at 174 Pond Road. When firefighters arrived on scene, they found a fully involved single-family trailer. Responding crews quickly worked to contain the fire with an exterior attack.
We had a good response time, but short manpower.
Right, so you were getting water on it pretty quick. Water didn't seem to, wasn't too much of a problem?
No, water wasn't a problem. Town's all pitched in on that.
Goldsboro was assisted by Sullivan, Sorrento, Steuben, Millbridge, and Cherryfield fire departments. There were no injuries as a result of the fire, but the family did lose their pets. Investigators, both state and private, have been searching for Colin Airy, a Bucksport man who 8 years ago this Saturday made his last known contact with anyone. Our Doug Banks has the story.
Saturday, January 25th, marks 8 years since the last time anyone had contact with Colin Airy. His disappearance has sparked extensive investigations into his possible whereabouts and how a man beloved by family and friends could simply vanish without a trace.
Until he's found, we're definitely not going to let it go. I mean, unfortunately, most of his family don't believe that he's alive anymore, but they can't stop thinking about him.
Airy is a Bucksport native who today would be 34 years old. According to private investigator Jennifer Dorman, he was last seen at the Brewer Auditorium by his stepfather, David Appleby. But according to Dorman and fellow investigator Jackie Fulton, there's been no evidence found to corroborate this, and further evidence into his disappearance has been scarce. Airy is one of 4 individuals on the Facebook page Justice for the Bucksport 4. On that list includes his mother, Christy, and Fulton says they all have a connection to one person, David Appleby.
I personally, and I know the private investigator, believe that Colin confronted David, and we think that he, frankly, we think he murdered him and disposed of the body.
Despite the passage of time, the search for Colin Airy continues. Anyone with information on his whereabouts are asked to contact the numbers shown on your screen.
When I first found Colin's case, it felt like nobody was looking for him at all. Like he hadn't even been reported missing for a year and a half. And his mom, who would have been looking for him because she really, really loved him, she was already passed away. So it's like, I just think that's really, really tragic. And that's why I don't want to, give up looking for him.
Doug Banks reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Some caregivers in Maine say reforms are needed with state medical marijuana laws. Our Augusta reporter, Corey Bouchard, spoke with advocates to learn more about what changes may be coming on the horizon.
We're here today to educate lawmakers about cannabis.
Since 2011, the Medical Marijuana Caregivers of Maine have held their Outreach Day, as well as been vocal advocates for the medical marijuana industry throughout the legislative sessions. This year, one of their main goals is to look at possible reforms to rules surrounding how their industry is regulated, especially when compared to the adult use recreational market.
We're looking at simplifying the rules. Over the years, there's been many different people that have put in new laws that have had difficulty being implemented. We don't have an updated set of rules.
One reason why they say outreach and advocacy to lawmakers is still needed is because of stigma still associated with the marijuana industry.
It's education, it's outreach, it's talking to your neighbors, it's just making cannabis an everyday thing that's not a scary thing to talk about, and it's the biggest agricultural crop in the state. So it should get a little more respect than we get.
While there are multiple bills that MMCM is keeping an eye on in the 132nd, including surrounding required testing of cannabis products, one currently at their forefront is a 14% excise tax on cannabis products, including medical cannabis, which was spared from the original 10% excise tax on recreational cannabis.
It would be devastating for small businesses for sure. Anything that adds extra cost to our business is devastating to small businesses right now.
At the State House, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Husson University is ending its pharmacy program. President Lynn Koyogan says a national decline in demand for pharmacy programs led to the decision. 56 students will be impacted. This year's graduating class will be able to finish their degree. However, Husson University has entered a new strategic healthcare education agreement with the University of New England, so the other students have a seamless transition option.
We are aligning the curriculums to ensure that graduates will be attracted to those main positions. Husson is very proud that 71% of our graduates return to the Maine workforce, and I know University of New England is equally committed to Maine healthcare.
UNE President James Herbert says they are well aware of the shortage of healthcare professionals across Maine, and their students are learning and ultimately working in healthcare settings in every corner of the state. A Bar Harbor restaurant could receive a prestigious recognition. Our Callie Warren sat down with the owner of Havana, a Latin American restaurant that was named a James Beard Award semi-finalist.
So a lot of the James Beard Awards are regional. This one is for the entire country.
Michael Boland opened Bar Harbor's Havana in 1999. Now the restaurant is up for a James Beard Award, a nationally renowned recognition.
And when I look at the other restaurants, some of them are restaurants that I've always wanted to go to, I've read about, and so I find myself in their company. I will admit to having a bit of that imposter syndrome.
Boland says the semifinalist status is a team effort.
So I found myself having to text an awful lot of people and thank them for their contributions over the years.
As one of few fine dining restaurants in the area,
We are white tablecloth. That's a rarity in Bar Harbor.
Havana offers food for all dietary preferences with a focus on local, sustainable ingredients and a more accessible price point than typical fine dining.
We think we're really fairly priced. We've kept it that way.
Havana is currently open from 4 to 9 p.m. from Wednesday to Sunday until February 16th. The establishment will reopen for the busy season in April.
Make some reservations now. If we get into the finalists or we're even lucky enough to win, I think we're going to be getting a lot of calls.
In Bar Harbor, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, let's turn things over to Conrad for a first look at that forecast.
Thank you so much, Devin, and I hope you were bundled up out there. I know I was. 2 below zero here in town earlier today. Way colder up north. Look at Clayton Lake, close to 16 below. Coastal areas much warmer, back in those single digits. Now, high temperatures much better. 24 degrees as a high here in town. Mid to even upper 20s. Bar Harbor into Machias area, so not too bad. That is above average for us. Now, up north, Greenville, you were stuck at 15 degrees with that thick snowpack on the ground. No surprises there. Now, overall, though, lots of sunshine out there. We did see a couple of flurries, mainly well up north. Like I said, a couple of flurries here and there. Other than that, that sunshine was that main topic for today. Now we're seeing a little bit more of that north-northwest wind, bringing in some of these cooler temperatures overnight tonight once again. Speaking of overnight, we're going to be well below zero once again by those morning hours.
Thank you, Conrad. After the break, we'll have more local news. Stay with us.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person, whether it's a car, truck, or SUV. we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage. Doing business the right way every day.
First ground rule? No challenge goes unaccepted. Together, we're unstoppable. Together, we're united. United Ag and Turf, your local John Deere dealer.
When Northern Shores Cleaning wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Northern Shores Cleaning provides outstanding residential and commercial cleaning services to eastern and central Maine. Northern Shores Cleaning also provides off-site laundry services as well as property management.
Need your car fixed? You got somebody. Need your roof repaired? You got somebody. Need electrical work? Here's your somebody. The team at Ideal Energy Solutions is ready to tackle anything electrical in your home. From upgrading your service to handle today's appliances and heat pumps to whole house wiring, Ideal Energy Solutions is your somebody. Contractors for residential and commercial work. Don't settle for less than ideal. Go with Ideal Energy Solutions. Call today.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
First National Bank, Moosehead Motorsports, Tapestry Chiropractic, Barney Buick GMC Bangor, and Warren's Waterfront Restaurant.
The Lady Huskies take on Creighton. Then the UConn men battle Xavier. It's a big college basketball doubleheader Saturday on Fox.
February 9th, the Super Bowl is on Fox.
Let's go!
It's not how you begin.
You take advantage of the moment. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's get rolling now.
But how you finish.
Dominate from the first step to the last step. Let's go!
Super Bowl 59, February 9th on Fox.
Corrections officers over at the Penobscot County Jail say they're finding success stories in a place you might not expect. According to jail administrators, last year the kitchen prepared more than 170,000 meals, many of which were made by incarcerated individuals. The County Jail Food Service program is giving inmates a chance to gain skills in the kitchen that they can take with them after their time served. The Sheriff's Office says the goal is to allow them to experience a normal work environment while helping provide nutritious meals for hundreds of inmates. Selected individuals can even earn additional time off their sentences.
We have a lot of good success stories of inmates getting out, doing better, and learning how to cook in here and staying out of jail. And then sometimes we get a couple of repeat offenders that come right back in and go right back into the working environment in the kitchen, knowing what they're doing, and makes the job go smoother.
The Sheriff's Office says the service also does not place a burden on the budget. The kitchen prepares 3 meals a day at a cost of less than $2 per meal through the Public Works program. The food service is managed by certified cooks who are also trained correctional staff, and the menu is approved by a certified dietitian. Sales of previously owned homes slumped last year to the lowest levels of any time since the mid-90s. That's according to the National Association of Realtors. Mortgage rates were a big factor. They spent most of the year above 6.5%. Existing home sales improved in December, up 2.2%. The median price of a home sold last year was at a record $407,500. All right, after the break, we'll take a look at your national headlines. Stay with us.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
Look around. You're seeing more and more Toyota trucks on the roads in Eastern Maine. These folks have discovered Toyota's legendary reliability, exceptional resale value, safety sense features for your protection, and 2 years of no-cost maintenance for added peace of mind. Now you have more choices at Down East Toyota for quick delivery. Drive off in a 2025 Tundra with financing as low as 2.99% APR for up to 72 months. Come discover why Toyota truck owners keep coming back for more. All roads lead to Down East for your next truck.
fire, water, storm damage, and even mold. We take care of you from cleanup to construction 24/7. When disaster strikes, tell your insurance company you want Penobscot Cleaning Services.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Ready or not, here I come.
After his historic season, Saquon delivered an iconic playoff performance to put the Eagles in the NFC Championship.
Saquon Barkley to the rescue.
Now with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line, they'll take on the Commanders' rookie sensation, Jaden Daniels, who looks to shock the world and send Washington to their first title game in 33 years.
Touchdown, Washington!
The NFC Championship. Coverage begins Sunday at 1 Eastern on Fox.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
The Senate is voting on Pete Hegseth as the nation's new Secretary of Defense. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively has the details from Washington.
From the moment Pete Hegseth was nominated to head up the Pentagon, senators began fighting over the combat veteran and former Fox News TV host's fitness for the job.
Given his lack of experience, it's much more likely that the bureaucracy is going to crush Mr. Hegseth than he is going to crush the bureaucracy.
Mr. Hegseth will bring a warrior's perspective to the role of Defense Secretary and will provide much needed fresh air at the Pentagon.
Hegseth faces allegations of excessive drinking at work events, mismanaging 2 nonprofit veterans groups, and abuse of his second wife. He was also investigated but never charged with sexually assaulting a woman at a Republican conference in 2017.
There is no world where we should have a predator running the Department of Defense.
Hegseth strongly denies all of those allegations.
I was falsely accused in October of 2017. It was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared.
While critics say he has less experience than most nominees, supporters point to his time serving in the National Guard in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Pete is very bright, very energetic, and very talented. He's going to be able to inspire the troops, recruit and retain as he should.
The Defense Department is the country's largest government agency with more than 2 million service members, 780,000 civilians, and an $850 billion budget. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, the good news for Southern California is rain is in the forecast, which will help firefighters battling wildfires in the area. With the rain, however, comes the threat of mudslides. Fox News chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt is in the Pacific Palisades with the latest.
A picture-perfect day on the Pacific Coast Highway belies what's happened here and what may be yet to come.
We want to be very aggressive, proactive in anticipation of rain.
Just as residents begin to pick up the pieces from the devastating fires that destroyed once vibrant communities like the Pacific Palisades, so officials prepare for the next potential threat, rain and mudslides. With so much vegetation stripped away by fire and so much debris on the ground, any significant rainfall could bring further chaos. And it could put further pressure on state and city officials, already facing criticism over their preparations for and response to the recent fires.
I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state.
President Trump claims California Governor Gavin Newsom's policies prevent plentiful water supply from Northern California getting to drier Southern California. The governor says that is wrong and irrelevant.
The State Water Project has nothing to do with the fires here, nothing. Period. Full stop. It's not he said, she said. This is not just an assertion. It's a foundational fact.
The politics of fire and fire prevention, though, will not be at the forefront of residents' minds this weekend. Instead, they will be looking anxiously to the heavens and the hills, hoping that Mother Nature doesn't send a second catastrophe to follow the first. What Los Angeles needs is a kind of Goldilocks rain, not too much but not too little. We'll see if Mother Nature gets it just right. In the Pacific Palisades, Jonathan Hunt, Fox News.
All right, and Conrad is in next with our full 5-day forecast.
Lots of sunshine out there for today. A couple of flurries well up north, but a couple of snowmakers will be back in the forecast and some warmer temperatures finally. How warm is it going to get and when is the snow going to be back in the forecast? Nor'easter? I'll have all the answers coming up.
Earnhardt to the inside. Allison takes command. Gordon looking for the checkered flag. Here comes Logano.
Fires, floods, burst pipes. Disasters happen, but the mess they leave behind doesn't have to last. For 40 years, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration has been there to help Mainers get back to the closest to normal as they can. When your property is at its worst, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is at their best, and they have been for 4 decades. Put your trust in the Bouchard team. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest.
A new year and a new adventure with the perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Because every mile matters and every path leads to new possibilities. Qualified Chevy owners who trade in an eligible vehicle can get this 2025 Silverado for around $379 a month. Or current Chevy owners can get $6,500 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Winter is a time to get outside and enjoy all that Maine has to offer. And when it's time to come inside, rest assured everything's toasty because of your Fujitsu heat pump from Valley Home Services. The comfort and warmth of home means more on days like these. Push a button and you'll be snuggling up on the couch in no time. Valley Home Services offers reliable rebates, significant energy savings, and expert installation. Embrace the comfort of Fujitsu heat pumps from Valley Home Services. Call or click today.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Opa, a Greek Mediterranean dining experience like no other, serving the finest of Greek dishes in central Maine. Let Executive Chef Gage Derbyshire prepare your food while you enjoy a drink. Opa! It's all Greek to me.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
Attention families, the survivalist's fate is in your hands.
If there's anything that y'all can send me today.
We all want this money at the end of the day.
I want to make it through to the end, but I don't feel good.
Depending on how cold they get, it's dangerous.
Just get him to shore.
Only you can extract them by hitting the button.
Hit the button. I'm not pushing the button.
Extracted premieres Monday after the Super Bowl.
I'm very, very angry.
On Fox.
All right, my friends, most of the U.S. is pretty quiet right now, but things get interesting, especially by next week. Maybe even a nor'easter back in our forecast. For now, though, a little bit of snow in the upper Midwest. We're talking very light accumulations up there in Wisconsin, headed into Michigan. Now, that's going to track our way. We might see a few flurries out there in the next couple of days, but the main thing is middle of next week. That's when potentially maybe a nor'easter back in the forecast, maybe bringing several inches of snow back in our area. But for now, let's talk about this. For tomorrow, looking pretty good out there. Now, Saturday night, mainly Sunday, that's when we're looking at a few scattered flurries out there. Maybe a snow shower or two more, that heavier snow well out of our viewing area up into Canada, Quebec, Montreal. That's where you're looking at accumulative snowfall for you. This is for Sunday. Now, back in the clear for Monday. Gets very interesting Tuesday into that Wednesday time frame as maybe another bigger system will make a return. And cold temperatures in place. That means more of that snow accumulating for us. Now, speaking of snow, this is the next 48 hours. Maybe a trace, maybe a little bit more in Greenville, Millinocket, mainly north of Dover, Foxcroft, the coast. Not looking as like much of snow will be accumulating. Bar Harbor, Machias, into Rockland. Now, same story here in town. Augusta, not much snow, maybe a trace at most. Overall, though, looking like winter out there. 7 inches of snow here on the ground here in town. Greenville, you're looking at over a foot of snow in many locations. Millinocket, not quite there. You're seeing that stripe right there. Some lighter accumulations on the ground. no worries. It's only January, my friends. We still got February, March, and even into April, which we know that snow will be back as well. We saw some 40s out there a few days ago. Now, the last 4 days, we've been below average, including today. That puts us 5 days below average. Tomorrow, once again, it looks like those temperatures will be a little bit below average. And then 30s maybe making a return starting Sunday. For today, though, like I said, 24 still puts us below average. Our average right around 27. Speaking of 27, Rockland at 27. Bar Harbor was at 28 earlier today, so not too bad compared to what it's been the last couple of days. Greenville, you're still stuck at those 15 degrees, those mid-teens out there the last couple of days. A little bit cooler out there for tomorrow, much warmer. Sunday, Monday, especially into Tuesday, maybe even a couple of above freezing temperatures with some maybe rain and snow, mainly snow here in town. Now, Wednesday, temperature's going to get cooler. Cold front comes in. It looks like a big system in the area. Still several days away, but just know, middle of next week, things get very dicey and maybe roads will be in very bad shape as this sharp cold front makes its way back into our area. For tonight, though, another cold night out there. Mostly clear skies, light winds. We need those light winds, right? But temperatures right around 3 below zero. Feels like temperature close to 10 below. For tomorrow, though, below average temps right around 21 degrees. An abundant amount of sunshine, though. Just a light breeze out of the west. Our extended forecast outlook does show light snow out there on Sunday. The main event would be Tuesday night into Wednesday. We'll, of course, keep an eye on things. For now, maybe a little bit of that rain and snow, mainly snow on Tuesday, more snow on Wednesday.
Thanks, Conrad. Looking back at our national news, failure to learn from past mistakes can result in repeating critical errors down the line, and depending on the circumstances, that could pose serious problems. When it comes to examining the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on medical workers responsible for keeping many of us healthy, new research is revealing a number of barriers that prevented people in this profession from getting help for their own mental health issues. Fox News correspondent Chanley Painter reports.
The COVID-19 pandemic may now be 5 years in the past, but a new study is highlighting large care-seeking gaps among healthcare workers who faced mental health issues during the height of the global crisis. The results are causing concerns throughout the medical field.
We do see increased rates of anxiety, stress, depression, PTSD in healthcare workers as a whole.
In the throes of the pandemic, surges of COVID-19 patients were overwhelming many understaffed hospitals nationwide, triggering intense burnout, chronic stress, and mental agony among practitioners. After surveying more than 2,600 healthcare workers from September 2022 through May of 2023, teams found
26% of them were reporting levels of mental health problems that would be on par with meeting criteria for a diagnosis, a mental health diagnosis. What was interesting is that only about 40% of these people had sought any kind of mental health care. And really only 20% of them said that they didn't even need care at all.
Researchers are identifying key reasons that prevented workers from getting help.
Things like getting time off from work or just the cost of care.
Psychology professionals also cite ongoing stigma surrounding medical workers getting mental health care.
It's related to things like licensing and board certification or, concerns that they be seen as weak.
Researchers say supervisor support helped decrease some of the negative effects in workers. Advocates are also calling for ramped up trainings on managing employee stress and staffing issues. I'm Chanley Painter, Fox News.
A massive wall of ice is lumbering toward a remote island that's home to millions of baby penguins and seals. Fox News senior correspondent Greg Palcott has more from London.
The world's biggest iceberg is on a collision course with an island full of baby penguins and seals. It's called A23A, a megaberg about the size of Rhode Island and weighing roughly 1 trillion tons. It's now traveling north away from Antarctica in the South Atlantic toward South Georgia Island.
The current will take it to the margins of South Georgia, where to the continental shelf, where the water becomes much shallower and there's a chance of it grounding.
That's significant because the island is one of the world's most ecologically rich areas. Millions of penguins and seals make their homes there, and it's summertime south of the equator, which means they're in the middle of their breeding cycles.
There's lots of pups and chicks, and they're all still dependent on their parents. If this iceberg parks there, it will block or potentially block pathways to their food.
But overall, scientists say they're not too worried about the damage A23A could cause. They say the iceberg is following a natural cycle, and South Georgia has survived iceberg hits before. The greater concern is the acceleration of ice sheets like this breaking off from Antarctica, fueled by climate change, which is dumping more fresh water into the ocean and causing sea levels to rise.
It is one of the most challenging things we will be facing in the decades to come, and the effects are devastating. And just look at what is happening around the world.
President Trump has indicated he won't make fighting climate change a priority. And on his first day in office, he pulled the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Agreement. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
All right, it's that time. Get ready for Friday Night Fast Break. Tyler Cruz, Jack Webb, and Doug Banks are in with all the high school basketball coverage you could ever want.
Get ready for the big game with Spectrum. Welcome more excitement into your home as you enjoy the best TV streaming experience. Spectrum brings your entire family together with the fastest, most reliable internet so everyone can enjoy all the sports and entertainment they love. Cheer on all your favorite players on football's biggest night. With the touch of a button, Spectrum puts you at the center of it all so you never miss a play. Get in the game and save with Spectrum Internet Premier for only $30 per month when bundled, plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-877-959-1722.
Lose his shirt.
I've never seen anybody lose their shirt.
Do you think they made him pay triple?
I guess our tactics didn't work today. Who's the law firm?
The law offices of Joe Bornstein.
If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe. The law offices of Joe Bornstein. Maine lawyers working for Maine people.
Tell the insurance company you mean business.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Tired of your internet service constantly letting you down? Those other providers may promise the world with their flashy advertisements, but are you truly having a good customer experience? Fear not, because there's a new player in town. Introducing GoNetSpeed. No more endless hold times or automated responses. We're here to listen, support, and provide you with the exceptional service you deserve. Our fast, reliable fiber internet, it's mind-blowing. Let us show you what true internet satisfaction feels like.
Time breathing.
Try putting your arms above.
Shut up, Robin. The Masked Singer, Lucky Season 13, February 12th on Fox.
This is Friday Night Fast Break. Brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another week of Friday Night Fast Break alongside Jack Webb and Doug Banks. I'm Tyler Cruz. We are presented by Coastal Auto Parts, guys. After tonight, just one more Friday night in the regular season. It moves fast. How are we doing tonight?
Great. We missed you last week, Tyler.
Yeah, I know. I missed you guys.
We got the great Cooper Flag coverage. Tonight was chaotic, though, but we made it through. Here we are. Here we are.
You're so far away from me now, Jack. I was moving by so fast, man. So fast.
Yeah, it is. Tournament time is coming up with just 2 weeks left in the season. Let's take a look at our standings as we gear up for February, starting with Class AA. Wyndham and Cheverus lead the boys, Edward Little in third, but it's anyone's game in the middle, and Bangor rounds it out. For the girls, it's going to be Oxford Hills on top of Class AA girls, followed by a bunch of 8 and 9 win teams, including Bangor right there in the middle in 5th.
Heading right to Class AA girls, Thornton Academy from the South, my alma mater right there, traveling up to take on the Bangor Rams. Bangor up 2 at the half. Trojans with it. Brooke Bodner finds Sophia Soroyce up ahead to Sienna Eldred, who cashes in for 2. Way to beat the break there. Bangor now. Aislinn Gifford to Avery Clark. Clark gets to the hoop and gets it to go off the glass for 2. Here comes Thornton again. Maisie McIntosh gets it to Bonder. She pulls up for 3 and clicks it. Back and forth game here. Rams again. Georgie Stevenson pulls down the tough board, gets it to Gifford. She stops and finds Clark in the lane, who nails the close range shot. Rams win 45-43. Let's pivot to a busy night in Class A now. Here's where we stand. Still anyone's game for the top spot in North boys, with Brewer, Hamden, and Messalonskee all battling for that #1 seed. Lawrence, Coney, and are neck and neck. In girls Class A, Hamden and Camden each have 9 wins as well.
All right, so let's go right to our Class A highlights. We'll start with a boys clash in Brewer, which is looking to defend home court and grab a win over Skowhegan. Brewer up 18 at the half, but here come the Riverhawks. Bryson Saucier gets it over to Jack Fitzpatrick, and the junior knocks down the triple to open the third. Trevor Austin now swings it to Saucier, and he knocks down the contested mid-range jumper right there. Again, the Riverhawks, and again, it's Fitzpatrick from 3. They would cut the lead to 10 right away in the third, but then Brewer turned it up a notch. On the fast break, Owen Fullerton to Ollie Higgins.
There he is.
Look out below, slams it down. Haven't said that name in a while. Here they come again. This time it's Higgins getting it to Fullerton. He pivots and finishes the break off for 2. Great footwork right there. Now it's Stephen Young's turn. Young's all alone on the break, rises up and slams it home. Witches go on to win 60-42.
Now to the stable, where the Bronco girls are playing host to the Warriors. Senior night for the Broncos, but it was a quick ceremony because they only have one senior, and that's Caitlin Murphy. Seconds left in the first. It's Abby Bradstreet who crosses up her defender and puts a great touch on the floater to beat the buzzer. Nokomis within 6. Second quarter, it's Murphy who uses the screen and finishes through contact for the and run. She'll hit the free throw and keep Hamden ahead. On the other end, it's Reagan King who dishes a nice bounce pass, mishandled by Mackenzie Liscombe, but she stays with it, finds a wide open Kirsten Conan. Did she call bank? Who cares? She made it. Hamden, now it's their only senior who cuts off the pass, takes it down the court, and directs traffic for a little bit here. Watch this ball movement. Top of the key, to the post, to the corner for Murphy.
Working it around.
Hits the corner 3. Hamden will win at home, 46-28.
All right, moving on down now, here are our Class B standings. Caribou on top of the boys with Ellsworth and Orono right behind them. In the 4 through 8 spots, really all up for grabs. The Vikings are on top of the girls too, while Old Town has won 8 straight games to pull into second place. Just like the boys, those middle spots are anyone's game.
In Class C boys, Matt Nalcook leads the pack, but that is a stacked region. Lots of teams with double-digit wins. For the girls, Matt Nalcook also on top. PVHS in second, and again, everyone neck and neck this region, just like Class C boys.
And we'll jump into the rest of the action now. Let's head home to the home of the Tigers for a Class C boys clash. Dexter boys hosting the Eagles from George Stevens Academy. Senior night for the Tigers. We pick this one up in the first quarter. Malcolm Page drives to the basket, finishes a beautiful up and under move. Shortly after, Cole Doherty finds Isaiah Robinson, who lays it in for 2 to give Dexter a 2-point lead. Eagles now. Colby Eaton fires a pass to Tristan Siomi, who lays it in for the easy 2 points. Cody Kimball now going to work for Dexter. He hits the fall-away jumper to put the Tigers up 3. It's Robinson again now. He launches a triple from beyond the arc. It's nothing but net. He shows some emotion there. Dexter wins a tight one, 38-36.
Finally tonight, the Winslow Black Raiders on the road trying to grab a win over the MCI Huskies in some Class B boys action. Second half, Braden Rodriguez takes it up, sends it out to Brody Willette. He pulls up from 3 and hits it. Takes a little contact too, but no problem right there. MCI now. Caleb Kennedy putting in work on the offensive glass, gets the miss, gets his own miss, and then connects 4-2. Way to pad the stats. Back the other way now, it's Winslow. Noah Harding gets the rebound, long outlet to Rodriguez, and he's going to take his time here and sends it back to Hardin, who gets inside and finishes for 2. Nice play from the Black Raiders right there. Huskies battle in the fourth, but Winslow, they would hang on to win 50-45 is your final. All right, no Class D game, so a quick run through that region. Skank is on top of the boys with Katahdin and Bangor Christian in the close rear view. For the girls, Central Aroostook leads a stacked D girls region with the first 5 teams, all of them have 10 or more wins. And finally, for some other scores from around the area, Hamden boys take down Nokomis for the win. Bangor Christian takes down Central. Penobscot Valley boys beat Lee Academy 59-49. Central Aroostook wins a close one over Fort Kent. For some girls scores as well, Messalonskee boys actually beat Camden Hills, but Camden Hills gets revenge on the Eagles with a win there. Caribou girls take down Ellsworth. Their boys would also win, and then Fort Kent beats Central Aroostook 67-41. All right, let's go back to Class A now. Coney and Lawrence lead that region, but with a win tonight, Hamden Academy adds another to their streak.
Yeah, Tyler, the Broncos are hot. Winners of 6 straight, and they're led by a trio of sophomores. Here's more in this week's Hardwood Spotlight.
Well, as Nick says, 1% better every day.
The Hampden Academy girls have won 5 straight and are looking to play a full 32 come February.
We're just going to have to be able to execute for 32 minutes. I think we can execute for like 24, but we really got to hit that full 32 and just come out ready to play every game.
We're still making some consistency mistakes. Like, we'll play great in stretches where we went on a 17-0 run against Skowhegan the other night, and then in the second half scored 5 points and 6 points in the third and fourth quarters.
That can happen with a young team. Hampden has 3 sophomores in the starting lineup, but luckily for the Broncos, these aren't your ordinary 10th graders.
Well, these guys have played a ton of basketball, both together and individually, so they have a bunch of basketball experience.
You know, we got the core trio right here.
Is this a situation where you guys came up together? Like, have you guys known each other for a while?
Yeah.
You've been playing basketball?
Yeah, we played at AU 4th grade, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-4 Lumberjacks.
The trio believed in themselves, but say their success came earlier than expected.
Not at all.
We came really fast, and it's just been so surreal. It's been amazing to have this experience.
Even with the early success, this group isn't satisfied.
I think we just need to keep working as hard and even harder than we are right now, and just keep being consistent and doing what we're doing, but also taking it up a notch.
But the glue that keeps this Broncos team together is their lone senior Caitlin Murphy, who's the ultimate leader by putting the program above herself.
She's been a fantastic leader, both on the court and off the court, specifically in practice. She's one of the vocal leaders of this group.
I get to help them be ready for the next couple of years when I'm gone. I think being able to put them in a position where they get to develop and learn as they go on, and that way they can be successful after.
All right, great stuff there. Been a great stretch for the Broncos, and they capped it off with another one tonight.
And how about the lone senior? Thinking about future, down the line, years down the line, not just this year. So many other seniors might think about, okay, this is my last year. Whatever happens after that is cool to me. I'm not here anymore. But she's concerned about, the future of the program. So that's great to have a player like that within.
Yeah, it's crazy to think, too. You see teams where there's only one senior. You got to think back in, middle school. They had a full team, and then eventually everybody just had either different interests or whatnot, and there's only one senior left out of that whole class. It's incredible.
Yeah, and they're playing really well, too, so good to see. Yep. Coming up next, you won't want to miss this week's A Minute With, and then we'll break down all the action in the rebound.
Make a fresh start at Quirk Jeep with the Start Something New sales event. Lease 25 Ram 1500 Bighorn for $439 per month, or lease the Jeep Compass Limited for $349 per month. It's your Ram, it's your Jeep. Find it at Quirk in Bangor and Belfast.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
there's no reason to be overwhelmed. No. We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
When it's time to replace your windows or doors, get the benefits of over 75 years of experience in building product sales and service from Hammond Lumber Company. In-store showroom displays with the latest design trends from top manufacturers. Knowledgeable, fully trained salespeople and in-house design services. A team of certified techs providing service after the sale, and job site delivery from 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. When it's time for new windows and doors, it's time to bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
AMHG Works, Danforth's Down Home Supermarket, Electrify Maine, First National Bank, Ideal Recycling Incorporated, and Modern Epoxy and Polishing.
It's a really cool winter day. I want to go outside and play. Go outside and play in a brand new 24 Subaru Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive. Buy with 2.9% financing or lease for just $299 per month. It's your Subaru. Find it at Quirk.
126, first on the scene.
Get back! Hang on!
Welcome to the party, Captain.
We'll be ready.
911 Lone Star, Mondays on Fox.
Welcome back into Friday Night Fast Break. Tyler Cruz here with Jack Webb and Doug Banks. Coastal Auto Parts is the sponsor. It's time for one of our favorite weekly segments. This one may make you a little hungry. Here is a pizza-themed edition of A Minute with Old Town's Emmett Byther.
I'm a pepperoni guy. I usually do more like a Greek style pizza. Thin crust for sure. The perfect slice. It's got to have a good amount of cheese. It's got to have a good balance of toppings. I'd say that's probably the biggest key. My go-to spot, geez, there's a lot of great spots around here, and I have to go with Pat's for sure. Oh, geez. That could vary. I mean, I could get a whole pie if I wanted to, but I'm probably good for 3.
I think that's the most important one right there is, you bring home a pie for a family pizza night. How many slices are you putting away?
Oh, yeah. I mean, no shame. I could kill a whole pizza. Yeah.
Emmett, brother, there's no need to shy away. I'm sitting down. I'm killing a whole pie. There's no need to shy away. Do not run from it. We can kill a whole pie. I mean, that dude's like 6'4".
He is. He definitely. I did not believe him when he said he could kill it. But yeah, I think 3 is a respectable amount though if you're sharing the pie with others.
Yeah.
Because 4 is half a whole.
When we do family pizza night, I make it clear I'm not sharing. That's just me.
Get the personal small.
Or the personal large.
Personal large is good. Let's ditch the pizza talk now. We'll get back to some ball. It's time for the rebound. All right, I want to start here. We are so close to the tournament, I couldn't be more excited. There are a lot of classes neck and neck at the top. I want to talk Class A boys. Brewers spent a lot of time at the top of this region this season. I think they won their first 10 before dropping 2 in a row a little while ago, but they are such a complete squad. You've got Owen Fullerton, Swiss Army knife. He can score wherever he wants, but he's been a beast on the inside. Opening up the inside for him is Owen Fullerton. Charlie Bridges right here, he's a sharpshooter. He can catch and shoot. He can shoot off the bounce. He can shoot the mid-range. He can shoot from outside. And then Higgins himself is a stud. He can guard the paint with the best of them and do anything on offense. And there's Steven Youngs right there, a great athlete. He can get where he wants on the floor, and he's another one that can score from wherever he wants. And then you throw in their point guard, Jake Perry, he's got the crunch time handles, and that's huge when it comes playoff time to have a point guard who doesn't turn it over.
Well, I think that's the big takeaway from this team, right, Tyler, is they got senior guards who are going to be able to handle the ball. Obviously, they got Ollie Higgins. He's box office, but when it comes to those tournament games in the fourth quarter, you want seniors holding the rock.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you don't want your whole season to depend on a freshman as good as they are. You want guys who are experienced, and Brewers got a ton of experience in that, not only the starting lineup, but the winning time lineup too.
Yeah, I've never seen him, so.